Hey, due to confidentiality, I wasn't able to record the amazing workshop on prostate cancer awareness, men's health, and erectile dysfunction with John Picard and Guy Helmich in Dublin on 29th of November. But in this video, I want to share with my friends or whoever else wants to know about it the main things that I took away from the workshop, the main things that I learned. So the four elements that John used to heal prostate cancer, regardless of his neurologist saying that this is not going to work and you'll end up in grave or you'll die a very painful death. Regardless of that, these are the elements that he used to heal himself. He said, okay, lifestyle, diet, emotional things to do with stress, with relationships, and of course you need to have a look at the genetics of it as well, the genetic factor. Here are some things that really inspired me also as a woman who have recently was found to have some changes in my cervix, so I can relate to all the men out there with prostate problems. Yeah. So one thing that inspired me was, I'll speak more clearly, one of the things that inspired me was a doctor that said to Kai or to John, you're not sick, you have a condition. Yeah, you're not sick, you have a condition, and condition is treatable. And how one of the guys in the workshop said, hey, you can find cancer in me depending which mood or time of the day you catch me and diagnose me. Which gives another perspective to show how our body's capacity to reclaim its power, to heal itself, but also our mind's capacity to destroy ourselves with negative thinking or fear and disbelief in our own curing capacities. Another thing that inspired me was Kai mentioning numerous studies out there that were carried out and show facts about people healing themselves irregardless of the diagnosis. And his main conclusion was the body never gives up, but the mind does. So there's always hope. So here are some things for the mind, the 7 things that I wrote down that John was doing to heal his prostate cancer. They're not in order of any preferences, just as I wrote them down as he was explaining. So exercise, which increased flow of oxygen to the lungs and helps to circulate the blood and flush the system better. He orgasmed every day. Well, at that time, for a man, orgasming and ejaculation were going hand in hand, but it is possible to train your body to experience orgasm anytime you want without ejaculation. Okay, so orgasm every day. No more hiding or repressing emotions. He was going through family and relationship challenges, and yeah, he realized that there was no more time to repress emotions and that they were all stacking up as an energy in his prostate. Next one was change of food, change of diet, which was he stopped eating dairy, he stopped eating sugar. Next one was he gave up his job, and I liked how he said he gave the 45 keys that he was carrying, he handed over. I know he only has 3 keys from his home, his car, and the back door of his home, where each of those keys was a huge responsibility, 45 responsibilities on your shoulders. So yeah, I would, no comment there. So his own comment was dropping away those responsibilities, those unnecessary things, dropping away. Next thing was herbs. He found a good herbalist just outside Mullingar. You can contact him and get the name. Things that he mentioned was root of nettles and root of dog leaves, something like this. These were for prostate healing, and then he had a different herb list for erectile dysfunction recommendations for men. You better ask him and Kai, but things that were mentioned in the workshop was citrulline, that's derived from watermelon, natural watermelon, radiola root, epidemium, it's a plant you can get in any Irish garden centre and make tea out of the leaves. Then some people mentioned in the workshop from their own experience was pumpkin seeds. You can get pumpkin seed butter. I like peanut butter, but pumpkin seed butter. Also was mentioned the thing called horny goat weed, something to check out as well. At this stage, John commented that he wasn't using just alternative medicine like herbs and homeopathy and acupuncture. Those are the things he was doing. But also he combined it with allopathic medicine, the mainstream, the classical medicine. So I guess it'd be good to ask John exactly what he was doing. There was a whole story and a whole structure, how he approached neurologists and how he was choosing between Ireland practitioner and a German practitioner, and the results that he got, and the difference in prices and the medical care and the quality that was given to him as a result. And the last thing that John was saying, he was trying to have massage as often as much as his body could take massage. So yeah, I think these are the main 7 points. Another important thing I took out is that we had different people in the group, and some people in the group actually came with the history of treating prostate cancer and different histories of things going right and going wrong, all different ways. But one of the main things I took out is that this thing they mentioned, PSA indicator, is what I understood is no longer a reliable indicator whether you actually have prostate cancer or you don't, based on what the German doctor was saying to John Picard as a confirmation of John Picard's own research into this and experience. I learned that doing a biopsy on prostate cancer is quite dangerous if you have a very clear what's the word, when you're not supposed to do it. So you need to be very careful about it. Also, testing it with your finger, the doctor's finger, is not reliable either. And one last main point about this is that most of the time it's not a prostate cancer but a prostatitis, which is inflammation of the prostate gland. Also, yeah, the rest are smaller details. So in the workshop, John showed us exercises that he was doing, also kind of exposed us to the mindset that he was kind of applying towards himself, because he's an ex-army officer and army person. I don't know much about this. Just read it in his profile. Look him up on the website, on John Picard's website or Kai Helmich website for John Picard's. Oh yeah, another important thing I took out was to do with the emotional side of the prostate cancer. Emotions, stress, relationships, family. That illness takes over our bodies when, in the absence of love, of tenderness, of affection, of touch, be it our own self-love, self-tenderness, self-touch, or a person who loves us unconditionally. And another thing I learned is how much tension we carry. This is I learned from the bodyworkers that were present in the course, which was half of the room. I learned that there was a huge recommendation in the room how there's a lot of stress that men carry around anus. Well, women as well. Humans carry around anus and around perineum. So we discussed all the different body work that is possible around this energy release, the armoring. So something to look up for yourself, different practitioners. I'm sure John does that as well. And another one was, there was men's self-pleasuring toy that was shown in the workshop. I wasn't part of the workshop, it was just kind of on a tea break. We looked at it and we discussed it. And between us, the body workers. And it was called a light torch. And it's a very real replica of a female vagina, and which also has like a pad that you can attach it to a wall, say like in a shower, so it heats up naturally with warm water. It's gel-like, rubber-like, very realistic. And in there, a man himself, without a woman, can learn how to loosen up his hips while he's thrusting, as opposed to this movement that they use when they have hard sex, or when men masturbate in a habitual way, when the anus and all the genitals are tensed up, which promotes even more tension and lack of emotional release around the genital area, lack of energy circulation. So this toy for self-pleasuring can actually help men if he attaches it to the wall, according to the body worker that was sharing with us about this sex toy. If you attach it to the wall, you can actually loosen up your hips. You can wriggle your hips while penetrating this toy, this vagina, and you can learn yourself. You can teach yourself to loosen up your anus while you do this, and hence release the tension, even if you don't have a woman in your life or a person with I guess unconditional love and acceptance to do this. Yeah, so thank you for such an amazing workshop. And one of the visions that I now share with John is that to remove stigma associated with prostate cancer, and how there are so many people out there whose sexual health is affected, but because of shame, especially in Catholic Ireland, around the world, because of shame we don't come forward and we do not explore ways of treating our sexual dysfunction or cancer of sexual organs. So this is, I guess, one of the drops into the ocean to remove the stigma and stand up and be okay with it and find alternative ways, healthy ways of curing it, and that you're not alone. So yeah, John Picard, Helmich, here you go, man. Thank you guys. Bye bye.